Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, co-author of Conversations with Top Real Estate Investors Volume 3, Munira Zahabi.
There you go.
So greetings from Chicago. I am here with my friend Mark. Mark, give me your last name.
Mirkovich, Mark Mirkovich.
Mirkovich, and he is my friend and author, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Where are you calling me from?
I am in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, close to the beach. I'm in a city called Torrance, which is just south of LAX airport, about maybe 4 or 5 miles towards the beach.
Wonderful. I love LA. I used to live there.
Yeah, I love it.
I lived in California for 17 years, and then I moved to Chicago.
Well, that's a big difference, isn't it? A big change.
Don't ask me why I did it. But Mark, I do these shows because I know that you are doing awesome things in the world and you are enhancing other people's lives. There's people out there who need to listen to your message, and then there are people you need to get to. So it's a twofer. And so I am on the prowl for people like you who are doing good, and then I expose them and promote them on my show. My show is called Munira's Musings, but today is my first Facebook Live. So congratulations, you're my first.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations for you for forging into an unknown territory.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Certainly, I will. But first, I just want to say thank you again for having me. I think it's amazing the work that you're doing to help bring light to those other people out in the world that are trying to create change. So thank you for your platform. Let me give you a little bit background about myself. I always like to start by saying I'm a Gemini and I enjoy walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. I am just a man in the world trying to create change. So where have I been? I was born and raised in Southern California. I was born in Hollywood to a very large family. I'm the youngest of 12 children, if you can believe that, same parents. And I learned from a very early age that there was an abundance in my household of engagement and also interaction, but there was scarcity when it came to money and having all of the extra things, right, that we all want. And so I learned at a very early age that I would need to be creative and I would need to develop relationships to work to create opportunities for myself. And I started at a very early age doing that. I remember even, this is eight years old when I first started selling. There's the first chapter, which talks about when I sold turkey raffle tickets at my grade school, and I came up with a whole sales program on how to do that, not knowing what it was at that time. But it started creating the work ethic that I've taken with me today. And, paying my way through private high school and through college and working into corporate America for about 20 years now, that I worked in executive management and climbed the ranks and took on a sales executive and leadership role. And as I was working through my corporate career, I got married. I have 2 children, beautiful children, 2 boys, 8 and 12 years old, and 2 other businesses that I run with my wife as well. So lots of activity, lots going on. And in the last few years, about 2013, 14, I really started to pull my head up and look around me and realize that although I had all of the success and all of the things that I had deemed as having success in my life, that really I was lacking fulfillment. And even though I have a nonprofit that I run with my wife now for 10 years as well, and the joy that I felt in the corporate environment really came from mentoring and grooming and leading and influencing others, not just with fundamentals on how to succeed in business, but how to succeed in life, how to develop an environment or an atmosphere that you're excited to wake up every day and you're excited to go out into the world and do things. And so in 2015, I like to say I graduated from corporate America. I resigned from a very high level job with a Fortune 500 company. And a lot of my friends thought I was crazy to do so, but I was really ready to seek a new position, a new understanding in life where I could really be of help and service to others. And it's through that process that the Capture Your Power platform, which is my platform, was created. And it really stemmed from one key moment where I was able to, all ego aside, I was able to really tap into my own power, my own blessings, all of the gifts that I've been given, my communication, my education, my intelligence, my willingness, and to interact with others and engage. And I really tapped into my own power and saw how I could use that power to help others harness their power and create the life that they wanted to live. And that's really where all of this started. And so the book that I just finished is the first of a number of books that is coming in the Capture Your Power series. And the first one was just on my sweet spot, which was sales and business, which I've done for the last 20 years. And so with this, I wanted to pull in all of the expertise, all of the tools and trades and everything that I'd learned, not just on creating the right fundamentals in a business environment, but also the right mindset so that you could be prepared for opportunity and take advantage of that. So this first book, Capture Your Power in Sales and Business, which is out now, is the first of many books where I will explore different ways in life that we can capture our power and create the outcome that we want. And those topics will include things like how to capture your power in relationships, as a man, as a woman, as a parent, and also we'll invite others to share Capture Your Power success stories, and I'll develop collaborative book efforts where other contributors can share their stories as well through this platform. So it's really, really an exciting time.
So you are, today is very exciting because today is the book launch, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so, congratulations. This is, this is something that you've done, and it's very, very profound. I mean, every book that I look at, I'm a bookaholic. Going to a bookstore, I cannot come home empty-handed. I can sit in the library for hours.
You sound like my wife.
There's so much to learn. There's so many things out there. But
yes.
You know what? But writing that book, everybody says they have a book in me. I have a book in me, but putting it on paper and then getting it published for the world to see is something profound. And I think you did a wonderful job. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was interesting because when I left my corporate career, I set a goal for myself in 2015. And the goal was that by August 31st of 2016, at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will have finished my first book. Now, very, very exact and specific goal, right? And this is what I called my breakthrough goal, which is a huge goal that puts us out of our comfort zone and really pushes us to do greater things. And so a year goes by, life happens, and August 30th of the following year, I looked up and I went, oh crap, I haven't started the book yet. What am I gonna do, right? So at that point, I knew that I needed to buckle down and I needed to create the time to get this project done. And of course, with 2 businesses and 2 kids and a wife and a household to run, very, very little time. And the only time that I could come up with is before everybody else in my house woke up. So I started waking up 1 hour early every day. And for the first week or 2, all I did was sit in front of my computer and go on Facebook and see where everybody else was doing. It was really comical. And then after a couple of weeks or maybe 10 days, I was able to start to find a groove. And I wrote every day for just an hour was my commitment, right? For 1 hour every single day. And after 6 months, I had finished my first draft. And then, it took me another year or so to go through revisions and readers groups and get feedback from my mentors and coaches and come up with a product and the design of the product and the launch. So it was definitely not an easy task, but it was something that, you know, that I accomplished step by step. And I was speaking this morning about this. You know, we all set huge goals for ourselves. And I talk about in my book, starting with the end in mind. You have to know what your ultimate goal is, what your final destination looks like. If you say, I want to go on vacation, you have to pick a destination first before you can plan the vacation, right? So I knew where I wanted to go with this project. And every day that I was uncertain, I would just lean into it. I would maybe write 2 or 3 words. I would write for an hour. I would write for a few hours. Sometimes I would get sucked up and write all day. But my commitment to myself is that I would continue to take one step forward and one step forward. And time goes by anyway. So here I am almost 3 years after I created the initial goal, and my book is out today. So it is a very, very profound moment. And thank you for validating that.
No, but see, what I hear you saying is everybody has a book in them and everybody wants to write. It's like, I don't have time, life happens, I have kids, I have a business to run, I have a job, So
Okay.
it's creating excuses, right? But
Yes.
instead of that, you find a time and then buckle down, like you said, 1 hour. And, you know, I like you owning up to the fact that, you know, Facebook sometimes for me is very cumbersome because it takes me down into holes and tunnels where I don't wish to go.
Sure.
And sometimes I have to stop myself and say, no. So that's what happened to you for the first week. But until you cleared the fuzziness, but you started to write, that created a lot of motion, and it created
Yes.
a momentum, if you will, where once you start, you didn't want to stop because now you are on a roll.
Exactly. And then when you get something tangible in your hands and you realize that you're getting that momentum, yeah, you don't, it takes on, you know, I always say work begets work, and momentum creates more momentum. And you it's like feeding the monster, right? You want to keep going and keep going and keep going.
But you have to find that passion. It's here, right? It's in your heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It needs to start within you. You need to find the fire. And if the fire, you know, to your point, a lot of people will say, oh, well, I have a book and I can do this. But there has to be some sort of motivation behind it that's going to push you to really get out of your comfort zone. And really that's what it comes down to, right? Is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it's not easy to sit down and do the work. It's not easy to do some of the things that challenge us the most, but that's where I like to say that the courage fills the gaps between where you are now and where you want to go. And when you put yourself out there and you push yourself to accomplish and to try new things, regardless of anything, it could be writing a book, it could be losing 20 pounds, it could be learning a language. It's not easy to do those things, but if you push yourself and take little steps, you can get there.
There you go. I love that lesson. You know, thank you so much for sharing. So tell me what your book is about.
So the book is really about fundamentals for entrepreneurs, for salespeople, for business teams, for leadership and management. Excuse me. For many, many years, I worked a lot in sales. I mean, probably for, you know, more than half of my career, I either was, you know, firsthand selling to people or leading teams of people and coming up with strategic planning and that sort of thing. And so I learned so much about how to interact with people and how to communicate, and really tried to simplify sales, right? Because people think salespeople, and you might have this immediate vision that comes to mind. It might be the used car salesman that was annoying. It might be somebody pushy at a store. It might be somebody at Nordstrom's that says, oh, can I help you, very nicely. But the truth of the matter is that everybody who speaks or interacts is in sales. That's what my opinion is. And I say that because we are all trying to seek agreement. We are all using our language, our verbal, our non-spoken, our silent, our body language, all of these things we use to interact and seek agreement in some fashion with other people, right? Because we want to produce some sort of outcome that we want. And that's really what sales is. And there's a lot of people that are intimidated by, I have a product and I have to go sell it to somebody. And there's all this angst about being told no and having doors shut on them. And really what this book is, it's a way to demystify all of what people think sales are, because sales is really easy. The process of selling, the process of interacting and engaging, using your communication, building relationships, coming up with, you know, if you have a product or service or a business, ways that you can get your product or service in front of the hands of people who are interested and will find value in it, and then be able to walk them through a sales process, which I created, which is called the indent sales process, which is very, very detailed in the book. And so you have these fundamentals in the book that, you know, is everything from how to kind of speak and engage and how to approach your market and how to find customers. Then there's this whole other side about how do I have the right mindset? How do I create the right mindset for success so that I can be prepared for success when the opportunities present themselves? And that's things like daily routines, exercise habits. Do you meditate? Do you set goals? Do you visualize? Do you spend time learning and growing? Do you interact with others for the intention of trying to learn and understand? Do you seek to understand? There's all of these things about success that we hear success. I want to be successful. I want to be, you know, rich. They're so vague, right? Everything is so vague. And when we put specificity on exactly what that means, and we know exactly what we're shooting for, and we have the right mindset to approach that, then it doesn't seem as daunting as it is, and it doesn't seem as heavy as it may be. And so really that's what my intention with this book was, is to offer a blueprint for other people to find more success in their business and in their professional lives, to learn how to get more customers, to interact with people, how to form relationships, how to use technology, how to manage their time, how to set goals in a proper way, how to lead up to goals, you know? So that's really kind of the emphasis on what this book, I expect that anybody who reads and implements this book will be able to up-level their success, double or triple their income, find more comfort and more joy in what they do, have gratitude for what they do, and find integrity in what they do. And it's really just, it's been a pleasure to write because it's something that I'm so passionate about.
That makes a wonderful thing, because if you're not passionate about what is here,
absolutely,
it's not gonna show. Well, thank you so much for being on my show, and I appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck. Now, where can we find your book?
Well, the book is available today on Amazon. So if you were to go to Amazon.com, you can search for the title of the book, which is Capture Your Power in Sales and Business. You can also get the paperback copy or the Kindle version, and it is also on Apple iBooks as well, so you could download that. And there will be an audible version of the book about 30 days from now. Of course, you could search for my name as well, and my website is captureyourpower.com. So you can find all the links there and all the information on all the different stuff that I do, the coaching and workshops and development. So I really, really appreciate you having me on your platform today. And again, I just want to acknowledge you for being able to support others. I think it's an amazing thing.
Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure. That's what I'm here for. I think I'm a people connector. And
yes.
I know people, so I tell people, I know people. That's what I say.
You know, it's funny. I always refer to myself in business or in any interaction, I always refer to myself as a master communicator, right? And I think that you are a master facilitator, right? You're a connector. So that's fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, a master communicator and a facilitator can work well together, and we can just
Absolutely.
make good. Yes, we can make good things happen. Thank you for being on my show. I appreciate it. For those people who are watching, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I appreciate Mark here. I am honored and humbled to have you on my show. And good luck to you. We'll hope for that best-selling #1.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, go out and buy the book, everybody, so we can make it a #1. Thank you again, Munira. I really appreciate you.
Most welcome, Mark. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group called Navigate to Your Niche.